2467, contact Salt Lake Center 128.
2805 Delta 2467, bye-bye.
Whiskey Foxtrot, on departure fly runway heading, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff, wind 3209 er, gust 19er.
Clear for takeoff, 28 left, fly runway heading, Whiskey Foxtrot, thank you.
November 4 Whiskey Foxtrot, contact departure up safe flight.
Over to departure, Forest Fox, thank you. Boise departure, Cirrus 824 Whiskey Foxtrot, 3,600 for 12,000.
Sirius 824, Whiskey Foxtrot, big shot departure, radar contact, turn right, direct Ola.
Direct Ola, Forest Fox.
Julia Tango, Boise Tower, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff, wind 33010, gust 18.
Clear for takeoff, 28 left, 0 Julia Tango.
0 Sierra Lima, Boise Airport, 12 o'clock and 26 miles. Report airport in sight. Keep your speed up as much as practical, please. Traffic is citation 700, about 15 trail to follow.
All right, copy that, and I do have the field. Medevac 0 Sierra Lima.
Medevac 0 Sierra Lima, cleared visual approach, range 2 left.
Clear visual approach, Medevac 0 Sierra Lima. Honey, approaching, send in 821, 55. Honey, we got Mike.
821, 60 up, punch Roger. Expect a visual approach, range 2 left. Confirm section. You can change it to spec, correct?
Yeah, we're descending via the FedEx, that's 821.
Slow you up a little bit. You're flying a Medevac King Air about 15 miles away.
Very good, cleared. The R9 823 left approach, that's 821.
We'll just stick with vectors and take your make contact on traffic stop. Alright, push my arm. We'll take this easy. That's 947.
5947, thanks so much.
Big 821, stage is 770 to the single, 4,000.
Wonderful.
There's 770 to the time, big shot departure, radar contact, flighting 300.
300, 0 to the single.
Sure, 4 Whiskey Foxtrot, for traffic behind you, turn right, 330.
330, Forest Fox.
All right. I think we are finally ready here. Why is it still up? I didn't click that. Go away. There we go. That's gracious. Okie dokes. I'm still getting used to this.
Julie Tango traffic, 1 2 o'clock, 3 miles, north-westbound on a diversion heading 7,000 miles here.
We're looking.
All right. Welcome to yet another episode of Legitimate Aviation Live. We are here live atop the Boise Airport parking garage here on this fine Thursday afternoon. My name is Devin. I am your host alongside absolutely nobody. It is literally just me. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you are all just as excited as I am to be out here streaming today. Looks like we got our first comments for today. Good old hello to Keep Faith 98. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Taking the time out of your day to do so. No idea how long we're going to be out here today. We're going to try to do our best and be out here for as long as possible. But yeah, we've got quite a primetime lineup today. I'm not sure why this Frontier over here is still here. That guy should have been gone a long time ago. Should have left at like 12:30, so I think he's definitely delayed. But yeah, we've got a few departures here coming up in a bit. In terms of what's lining up on the runway, let's go ahead and check that out. Let's just get right on the departures here. So that first flight is going to be an Alaska E-175 going out to Seattle, Washington, which for those of you who are coming back for more, who've been to a stream already, that should be of no surprise to you. Alright, I gotta get used to the focusing here. My first time doing manual focus, so oh, that thing's not even gonna focus all the way out there? That's interesting. Or am I focusing too far? That's better. Alright, yeah, it might take me a little bit to get used to this focusing here, but we'll get used to it eventually. Yeah, I had to get rid of the autofocus because there was a big white box. And that's about as far as I can zoom on this lens. I'm still working on it. Still hoping to get another lens at some point. Obviously they're a bit expensive, so that might be a while. But at least we're out here. At least we can see something. That was the main goal. Also need to get better, it's like a camera stick or something, so I can move it better. Things for the future. Let's check out what our next departures are going to be. Looks like that American Airlines 737-800 is getting ready to push back to Dallas-Fort Worth. He's going to be kind of our next takeoff, most likely. I kind of want to see what's happening with that Frontier. Oh, look at that. Just showed up. Yeah, and Frontier Sammy the Squirrel livery is going to be heading out to Denver, Colorado here in just a few minutes, hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see.
We'll see you later, Ed. 21 manager.
Let me see. Yeah, it says delayed until 5 o'clock, so we'll see if it leaves. That's a bummer.
Oh, it is hours a day, 21. Take care. Take care.
I guess I can check the arrivals too.
Right turn 290, alright.
Alright, in terms of arrivals, what do we got here? Okay, so here in a few minutes we're gonna have a two E-175s, one United, one Alaska. One's coming in from Los Angeles, one's coming in from Seattle. Alright. Otherwise, if you are just joining us, be sure to hit that like button. If you are liking what you're seeing, be sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 750 subscribers by the end of the year. And if we could hit like 20 likes on this stream, that would be pretty cool. I try to do streams. Well, originally I said once a month, but looking at it, at least in the summertime, I hope to maybe do more than that. I don't want to make any promises yet, because then I don't stream for 6 months. But ideally, I'd like to stream, you know, once a month. And I hate, YouTube always gives me warnings when I stream. And it gives me anxiety. So we're gonna double check that this is actually still running. Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm not seeing the chat here. Goodness gracious, there it is. Alright, sorry about that. I should have gotten to that chat earlier. It wasn't popping up on my screen, because it does that sometimes. Okay, let me get this situated, and then I'll get to your question there. Okay, just came back from Boise. Oh, sweet, I'm on Flight Radar looking for planes. Just saw the last plane out my window. Okay, so that, yeah, I think I see it. Oh, that's probably United I see. Legitimate Aviation says, where in the Boise airport is this? I want to go here too. Yeah, actually this is up atop the Boise airport parking garage, the long-term Boise airport parking garage. Honestly, arguably probably the best view in terms of the terminal. Landing views and stuff like that, I'm sure you could find better. But in terms of overall views, this is probably the best. But at some point I plan to mess around with it and see, where is that? Oh, there it is. It's so tiny. Yeah, this is as far as I can zoom at the moment. One day we'll get that fixed. But yeah, it's a fantastic place to spot. I mean, if you're trying to do a live stream or something out here, you know, there's other things you might have to consider. But if you're just coming out here to take pictures, it's a perfect spot for it. A ton of people come out here. Live in Boise, so you go very often. Hey, same. Cessna citation. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Alright, that's the American 737-800 going to Dallas-Fort Worth. American currently has, I believe, 3 flights a day to Dallas, all on the 737-800. They used to fly the A321, and now they don't. But hopefully they'll bring the A321s back, because personally I prefer when they fly the A321s. It's just more variety. Love your channel, man. I sub. Thank you so much for your support there. I really do appreciate it. Sorry, I'm like doing 2 things at once. Watching all of this on Flight Radar. Good stuff. If I had another screen, I would have Flight Radar up all the time. Except for the fact that my only other screen is my phone. And it's hard to hold my phone, have it out, and do the camera and everything. So that's why it's sometimes a little laggy. Yeah, this is a United from LAX. United currently has 2 flights a day, to and from LAX, I think. And they're both E175s, so typically when they land, I don't pay much attention to them because everything here is an E175. But that's a bit far away, so let's focus on something that we can actually see. And that is the American. I feel like that shot is a pretty epic shot. So epic that I'm actually going to take a picture of it real quick, because in case people didn't know, I post on Instagram, and I have a ton of awesome plane spotting photos that I put time into, and you guys should go check it out at legitimate_aviation. Haha. Definitely not trying to advertise my own stuff there. Alright, and I can't always tell when my screen's glitching or just completely blacked out. So if something happens, be sure to throw it in the comments, because the chat is going to be the first place that I find out that my stream is not doing well. It's not always perfect. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So yeah, if it's suddenly like really laggy or just not showing anything, the chat's going to be the first place I find out. Because as of now, my YouTube studio is telling me that there's not enough stream to, you know, make it work. But when I go watch it on YouTube, it works fine. So I don't necessarily trust YouTube's. It glitches sometimes, but it's okay for the most part. Okay, that's about as good as we're gonna get it at the moment. I have to do some research on better internet. I honestly have no idea how the bigger streams do it. I don't know how they always have a crisp, perfectly smooth stream. Because I'm using like one of the highest end, like unlimited data networks. So like if that doesn't work, I'm not really sure what's supposed to work. And regardless, I don't even know if I have the money to make it work. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There's Alaska going in for landing. Alright, I will look into that here. Well, I do see this Delta E175. I can bet he's probably going to Seattle. Alright. Oh yeah, I see that Alaska. Oh, okay, no, that Delta's going to LAX. Good stuff, and that Alaska is coming in from Seattle. I knew that. And, ooh, that would be pretty cool if that KLM had an emergency landing here. Not because it's an emergency landing, but because it would be landing here. Let's clarify. Alright, good stuff. I think I'm fairly prepared for the next few departures here. Alright, and Liv, thanks so much for joining us on the stream today. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And Alex Dreyfus says, I feel like the brand new Amazon cargo ramp is always empty. Do they ever see any Amazon air traffic more than once a day? Yeah, Keep Faith kind of answered that. But yeah, it's typically once a day, which is unfortunate. I think they built it to, you know, withstand future traffic. I bet as the city grows, they're going to bring in either bigger aircraft or just more aircraft. You know, because Amazon is always going to be growing. It's unstoppable at this point. So yeah, I would guess that they're gonna grow at some point. And never once a 767. Every once in a while, and this is very rare, but I have seen a couple 67s come in for Amazon in place of their 737s. So it is possible, but it's definitely not a daily thing, definitely not even a seasonal thing. It's like, you know, 3-4 times a year they bring in a 6-7 for like holidays or whatever. All right, this next arrival is going to be that Alaska E-175 coming in from Seattle, Washington, as you might expect. That is like 50% of Alaska's departures from here. 25%. Will be nice. And if any of you know of any good places to buy cheap Canon camera lenses, let me know, because I'd love to get a better camera lens for this. But I'm a little poor. Oh man, that camera work was just awful. I seriously need a better, there's a camera accessory where it's like a stick that you can hold and you move it that way. And supposedly it's a lot easier to move the camera. I don't have that. So I'm moving it like by hand, and the camera's a lot bigger than what I'm used to. So that's kind of the explanation behind the rough camera work. But hopefully one of these days we'll get that fixed. One day. There's a Swiss Air 777 about to fly over Boise. See, if I had my old camera, which still works, it's just the one plug that I needed to connect it to my stream broke. So I can't actually stream from it, but I can film from it, which is stupid. If I had the old camera, I'd be able to zoom in on it, and you'd probably be able to see the details of that Swiss 777. It was that good of a zoom, and I love that camera to death. Unfortunately, it is pretty close to death because it's not. That little plug broke, and we tried to take it apart, and it is built to withstand like everything. Like, you can't take the thing apart. We took like 15 screws out of it, and it's still like a solid piece of metal. So we're working on it. As soon as we get it fixed, if we get it fixed, we'll be using it again. Don't you worry. Because I love that camera. Alright, and this next departure is going to be a Delta E-175 going to Southern California, Los Angeles, City of Angels, whatever you want to call it. And yet I've never seen a single angel there. Yes, that's a joke. I'm sure there's a historical meaning to it. Yada yada yada. Don't get all technical on me. This isn't a history stream. This is an airport stream. All right, and the next one on the tarmac there is going to be that American Airlines 737-800. They're going to be going to Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way out in Texas. Best stream I've ever seen. Oh, thank you so much, Keep Faith. I am doing my best here. If anyone was here last stream, I actually did make an improvement. I know, crazy. I realized last stream that the autofocus on my camera was putting a permanent white box on the stream. And so right in the center of the screen, there was like a white box. And it was driving me insane. And so I got rid of autofocus, and it works now. So, you know, when in doubt, get rid of autofocus. That's, you know, the way to do it. Unfortunately, it's harder to tell if I'm actually in focus because I'm going off of a tiny screen here. Pretty sure there's an F-5 Tiger returning to Boise. Oh, good stuff. I feel like that might be a little bit small in terms of what my camera's actually going to see. But if it comes in, I will definitely try to see it. Assuming I know what an F5 is. If I don't, that would be really embarrassing. All right. That's it. American Airlines with weird looking winglets with the AA logo on it. I don't know why they did that. It looks really weird. I think so, at least. Personally, I think they should get rid of it and act like nothing ever happened, but whatever. That's my opinion. It just looks awful. Oh, and here's that Southwest. Keep faith. Since you have a flight radar open, do you mind saying where that Southwest is coming from? I kind of have a guess. I would think Oakland or San Jose, maybe. But I'm not 100% sure. No worries if you don't have it up anymore. Don't feel like you have to go look. I'm just curious. I believe that's a 737-700. Typically, if they don't have split scimitar winglets, it's going to be a 700. Because all their Dash 800s do. I think. If not, there's like one that doesn't. Alright. Oh, good stuff. Okay. This camera is really difficult to move. I apologize for the weird looking. Alright, and I'm actually going to pull up flight radar as well. We'll see who gets there first. Southwest. Oh, okay. I was close. Oh, there we go. San Diego. So, I don't know how the chat is compared to my voice on the stream, but looks like you said that pretty much right as I found it. There you go. Oh, sweet. And Lyft got it too. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that. What are we looking at next for departures? I see something, but I don't see something. Where's the F5 Tiger? Oh yeah, it is really small. Okay, I was right. That's good. I was hoping I was right in the sense that it was a small plane. Otherwise, it would be really embarrassing if it was like a, C-130 size airplane. Alright, bada bing, bada boom. The local time here in Boise, Idaho is 4 o'clock p.m. here on this fine Thursday afternoon. My name is Devin. I'm your host of Legitimate Aviation Live. Thank you all so much for coming out and tuning in, enjoying the awesome airplane action here at the airport. Did I introduce myself? I forget. My name is Devin. I'm your one and only host. We're just getting started here, so if you're just tuning in, be sure to grab that popcorn, grab those drinks, snag a bunch of extra family members and have them all tune in on separate devices to get those views. I don't know if I'm going to see that little Cessna up there. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream here. We got a bunch more content on the way. If you're liking what you're seeing, be sure to hit that like button. We're trying to get to 25 likes today. If we get more than that, obviously that won't be a problem. And, if you're watching, you're like, man, I can't wait to watch the next stream. Go ahead and subscribe, too. Ring that bell, get notified of everything that I upload. I upload flight reviews, I upload airport streams, I do, the whatever YouTube posts, I don't know what they're called, the community tab, I put stuff on there all the time. Got Instagram as well, all that good stuff, so there's a ton of content waiting for all of you. So be sure to do that if you're interested. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna be out here for a little bit. I do work tonight, so I would like to not be out here for too long, but can't wait to watch your next stream, man. Yeah, I can't wait to be out here again. I've been doing some thinking about my streams, and you know, because I am definitely not the first person to do airport streams, and I definitely won't be the last. But because of my tech issues, it's thrown me behind in terms of the, you know, the leaderboard or whatever you want to call it, in terms of airport streams. And so I was thinking about it, like, you know, most airport streamers do it 3 times a week, and I'm here doing it once a month. And it's just not, like, you know, that kind of a schedule isn't gonna do very well for me in the future in terms of not being overthrown by 195 different airport streamers. Because I'm guessing at some point there's going to be an airport streamer in every single airport, because it's just such a popular thing to do, like in terms of the aviation community. So I was thinking, and no guarantees, but if I can do, you know, at least once a week, that would be pretty epic. I would enjoy that, and I bet all of you guys would enjoy that. At some point, I hope to get out to, you know, Vancouver, Seattle. I do Vancouver streams out in the fall, winter, and spring. I do live in Boise, but I'm, you know, school and whatnot up in Vancouver, British Columbia. There's a 737-900ER starting to taxi. Oh, probably the Alaska. Yeah, I see that. I believe it's going to Portland. If that is a Portland flight, that thing is like very on time. It's supposed to leave at 4 o'clock and it's pushing back and it's 4:04. That's pretty impressive. I will say, and I'm not trying to, you know, do any advertising or anything here, but I did fly Alaska recently, and through Boise, and it's pretty reliable. It's like, that's the wrong word. They boarded very quickly and left, like, it's a pretty compact system, and it seems like they have it down pretty well, so I'm not surprised it's leaving on time. Alright, Keith Faith says, gotta go, man. Alright, yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for tuning in, Keith Faith. We'll see you next time. Oh my goodness. Am I even going to be able to see that? Oh, it's going too fast. There it is. Oh my goodness, there's a bird. That thing wouldn't have startled me if it didn't bark at me, but it did. See, this would be a good shot where the old camera would do very well, because I could zoom in on it and get you some epic content. Yeah, it's hard to see even on the screen. Hard to tell what I'm looking at. I feel like I've never seen a crow out here. It's a really random, I feel like I just never see birds out here, actually. If I do, they're like the little tiny ones. Alright, well, looking at the sky ain't gonna do very much for you, so I'm gonna... Let's look at the delta. Alright, and I think I've got a second here. I guess it's landing. Let's see if I can catch that. on that Alaska here real quick. I'm gonna go grab my water bottle. I'll be right back.
That's 880 off Golf, traffic is citation 4 miles ahead, space secured, contact tower 118.1.
Over to tower, 0 Golf.
Sniper 2-1, I know you're busy. Are you able to golf or do you have to have hotel?
Okay.
Sniper 2-1, thank you. Turn left at golf and back to Bravo Park District C.
Bada bing, bada boom.
180 South, 6 miles straight and only 28 left on the western.
Water 880 off South, 12 Tower, 132.012, runway 20 left, clear to land.
Runway 28 left, 0 Golf.
Is that Delta already leaving? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Alright, and if you're just joining us, be sure to say hi in the chat. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, anything like that, I've got the chat open, so I will see it and I might read it. Or I might read it out loud, I should say. But I'll definitely read it. You know, keeps the conversation going, all that good stuff. Alright, I see another arrival. Let's see where that guy's coming from here. Gotta watch my battery as well. That's a little Cessna. I don't know how well we're gonna see that. The next commercial arrival is gonna be a United Express E-175 coming in from Denver, Colorado. That is one of United's 5 daily flights from Denver. Although usually it's on a main line. They typically have 3 to 4 mainline flights a day and 1 to 2 regional flights a day. I am curious, since I still have a minute before that United lands. I'm just kind of curious when that FedEx leaves. Maybe we'll be able to catch that. FedEx leaves at 7 o'clock. That's pushing it. I don't know if we're going to get to that. Ooh. We'll probably get the Sun Country though. Haven't had that on a stream in a long time. So that's something to look forward to. That'll be landing in about 30 minutes. Along with a few Southwest, a United. And is that it? Oh, all those landed already. Look at that. Okay, so that's the arrivals. And then, of course, after that, there's a bunch. FedEx, or not a FedEx, a UPS and some stuff. In terms of departures, pretty much everything you've seen on camera so far is going to be leaving. Yeah, hopefully we get that Frontier pushing back here soon. That guy was supposed to leave hours ago. Which is a bummer. I definitely feel for the people who are on that flight. Getting delayed 5 hours. I can almost guarantee you every single one of them missed their connection. Because I don't think there's any issues in Denver. Maybe there are. Anyway, the next departure is going to be the Alaska Boeing 737-900 that you see way out in the distance there. Going to Portland, Oregon. That is one of 4 flights a day to Portland, 4 or 5. They have, I believe, 2 mainline flights a day and then the rest regional. Which is better than last year. They had no mainline flights a day last year, so they're stepping up their game, which is pretty epic. Hopefully they keep it that way. I'd love to see more mainline Alaska flights here. Because otherwise the rest of their flights are all E-175s, and when you're plane spotting and there's just 197 trillion E-175s, it gets old. So they're going to be waiting for that E-175, so we'll go ahead and direct our focus out in the distance. And again, I don't have great zoom at the moment, so that's why I'm not zooming in any further. Because this is the furthest I can zoom.
Down 77, maintenance pad, Orchard departure is approved. Altimeter 3006, wind 201, depth 1.
3006 can be altimeter, Orchard departure approved. Cal 77, thanks.
That guy's coming in from Denver, Colorado. And if you are liking what you've seen, be sure to leave that like. We're trying to get to 25 likes on a day's stream. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to grab that popcorn, grab some drinks, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the awesome plane spotting content we have for you today. Here atop the Boise Airport parking garage. We're trying to reach 750 subscribers by the end of the year. Honestly, if we get to 600 by the end of the stream, that would be beyond incredible. That would actually be a record in one day. So, yeah. Very appreciated. However you guys do support, it's always appreciated. You know what I need to get is a one of those flags or whatever. You know how the bigger streamers or people who do stuff outdoors have like the ribbons or flags or whatever that have their logo on it? I need to get one of those. Maybe just even a sign, like a heavy-weighted sign that I can put out so that, you know, people know that it's me streaming. Because I guarantee you there's at least someone inside the airport terminal right now being like, who is that and what is he doing? And in a good way. And having a, you know, having a legitimate aviation banner or something, that'd be pretty cool. And that way, people in the airport who see me can go check it out and say hi, you know? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and look at this frontier for a little bit. Definitely not every day that you're gonna see a frontier on this stream, because they just added flights to Boise and they're only doing it twice a week, which I think is insanity, because they've failed. They've flown to Denver out of Boise 3 times or something, or twice already in the past, and they failed twice. So they came and then they left, and then they came back with less frequencies, and then they failed, and then they left, and now they're back again. And I'll be honest, I don't understand it. I don't know why they wouldn't just add flights to Vegas like 2 years ago when like 3 airlines added flights to Vegas. I don't know why they didn't jump into that mix. Or go to, I don't know, Los Angeles, where also a bunch of airlines fly to, or Dallas, which kinda, sorta. I'm just thinking of places they have a fairly decent presence. But, oh well, what do I know? That is entirely an opinion right there. Okay, so I'm thinking that United we saw land isn't actually a commercial flight. I think it's going to the hangar. Unless it's a different one that I'm looking at. Alright, I'm going to double check and make sure my chat is actually up to date. Because I have it up here, but every once in a while it just doesn't load. So let me just make sure I'm not missing any chats here. Okay, good stuff. Alright, pushing back here soon is going to be a Delta E-175 heading out to Seattle, Washington. That's no surprise. There's also a Southwest 737-700 coming in from Burbank here in just a couple minutes. As well as an American E-175 from Phoenix. So, got a few flights here. And we'll keep focused on this Delta until that Southwest comes into a more clear view. Because I can see the light, but like trying to focus on it right now is almost entirely unnecessary because it's too far away. But I feel like that's a decent shot right there. Oh, that's pretty crisp. Alright. And we should be getting into a fairly busy time here in just a bit. 5 o'clock hour is kind of the last like departure hour of the night, and then we get a bunch of arrivals. So we'll get a few departures and the first set of arrivals during the 5 o'clock hour, and then that'll be that. There are flights, later in the night, but, it starts to drop in frequencies. All right, and let's go over to that Southwest, now that it's in decent view. That's a Southwest 737-700 coming in from Burbank, California. Who would have guessed that of all the cities in California, that Burbank would warrant multiple daily flights? Not me. Especially after all these Orange County flights and LA flights, like Los Angeles specifically, LAX. So that's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a busy route if Southwest is adding daily flights. Ooh, what happened to my focus there? There we go. Spectacular. fantastic. We're at 12 viewers right now. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you taking your time out of your day to check out the Boise airport. I'm sure some of you are from Boise, but for those of you who aren't, yeah, it's definitely a unique airport to be live on the internet. That's for sure. I can confidently say I'm the only person to successfully stream here in Boise consistently. There has been one other stream. There's been a couple streams here in Boise, but they're all one-offs, and none of them ever came back. Or one or two, and then they never came back. Those were all, a year more ago, so. And to be completely honest, I'm one of the only streamers in the Pacific Northwest. So bada bing, bada boom. There's a guy up in Vancouver that I compete with when I'm up in Vancouver. Not really, because he does a lot more streams than I do. But otherwise, yeah, no one in Portland, no one in Seattle. That's about all the airports, really. Spokane, but let's be real, no one's going to be streaming in Spokane. No one should be streaming in Boise either. But here I am. Alright, and it looks like there's quite a few of you here now, so let's try to get some extra content here. Hopefully I don't lose any of you. That's Southwest 737-700 came in from Burbank, California, just a minute ago. And our next arrival is going to be an American Eagle E-175 from Phoenix, Arizona. In terms of departures, it's going to be this Delta down here. That one's going to Seattle. I believe that's what, a citation? I'm not good with my private jets. My airplane obsession started with commercial, and then it kind of relaxed a bit. So I never studied the private jets or general aviation. Okay, there's that next arrival, that American Eagle from Phoenix. I mean, let's be real, if you're an av geek, the most important plane can come later. Second most important is probably either the 777 or the A380. Just in terms of how av geeks, obsess over those. Alright, well, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, be sure to hit that like button. We're trying to reach a grand total of 17,000 likes today. No, I'm kidding, it's only 25, but still. If you do like what you're seeing, it does help me out. Let me know that I'm doing something right, doing something well, and I'll come back next time. And if you really like what you're seeing, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And ring the bell. We're trying to reach 750 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll see. I wasn't sure if that was too high of a goal, but then the last stream we gained a ton of subscribers. So anything is possible. It's up to you guys though. Otherwise, yeah. If you want to say hi in the chat, go right ahead. I've got it up here. I'll respond to. We can have a nice little chat. That's why it's called a chat, by the way.
We'll break off about halfway to Parpack and Caldwell if possible. Helicopter 844.
And then for those of you curious, while we're waiting for something to happen here, that is the terminal. I pretty much show it once every stream, just for the sake of it. That is where everybody goes. There is no Terminal 2. That is the terminal. So it doesn't matter if you find Alaska, Delta, United, Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, Allegiant, American, you're going to be going there. So at this point, I know the airport like the back of my hand. At least the public side of it. I've been there so many times that it's not even funny. Which you'd know if you watch my flight reviews. By the way, if you were here in the last stream, I did wear sunscreen today. Didn't last time. So hopefully I don't burn to a crisp as much. That was an unfortunate situation last time. I actually didn't get as sunburnt as I thought. It was really only like my neck, actually, that got sunburned. My face was a little red, but it just turned into a tan, which was okay. Didn't mind that. I see a car. Nobody parks up here. Let's be real. Don't know what they're doing up here. I'll be honest, you gotta be kind of crazy to park up here. And I feel like I'm allowed to say that because I park up here. So, you know, I'm calling myself crazy. But yeah, it's literally like 6 cars up on this top level of parking garage. That's it. So, you know, it's not like it's hard for me to tell if there's someone new up here because, you know, I'll know. I'll be able to count the cars. But if you're plane spotting, it's a fantastic view. I love it. As soon as they announced they were building it, I knew it was going to be a good spot. The other spot is next door in the other parking garage, but it's 1 story lower, and so you can't quite see over the terminal there. And that American Eagle should be pulling in a gate B18. I could be wrong. We'll see. That's, I believe, usually where it goes. Yeah, it looks like it's going to B18, so we'll be able to get a close-up shot of that here in a second. Looks like that Delta... Sometimes I don't understand the order of operations at the airport. I feel like that Delta over here should have gone first, but who knows? I bet the ATC tower knows better. Alright, thank you guys so much for getting us to 10 likes today. Really appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. It does honestly tell me. It does help me out. It does tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And encourages me to come out not just to Boise, but to other airports. And if you have other airports that you want to see, go ahead and throw them in the chat. No promises. I am not the richest person. So it'll be... Typically when I stream at another airport, it is on accident, in a sense. Like, I don't expect to be there until I'm there. I was actually pretty close to doing a stream in Colorado Springs recently. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm there for like a day, and it wasn't gonna work out. And I was pretty tired. So, but I did look for locations. There was an attempt, but it didn't go through. But maybe one day, Colorado Springs or Denver. Been to Denver once. Maybe one. I'll go back again later. The issue is I have to take my smaller portable battery. So I have this big one that works fantastically, but I have a smaller one that doesn't work as well. And so I have to, and that only allows me to do like 2-hour streams. So I either have to have 2 batteries or I have to, you know, do a short stream. So it's, again, partially just like a funding thing. I don't have the moolah to get that taken care of yet. You know, school is priority. Alright, and the current time here in Boise is 4:33 p.m. My name is Devin. I am your one and only host here at Legitimate Aviation Live, here atop the Boise Airport parking garage on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. The current temperature right now is 87 degrees Fahrenheit. No idea what that is in Celsius. You can do the math or whatever. I think that's something like, what, 27 degrees or something Celsius? Maybe I'm off, I don't know. Quite a nice day. Not a single cloud in the sky. Okay, well there's a couple, but they're far away. So around us, there's not a cloud in the sky. If you are liking what you're seeing, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the flight reviews. I post airport live streams at not just Boise, but I've gone to a bunch of airports. I do, what else do I post? I'm on Instagram too, at legitimate_aviation. Post some plane spotting content there and some in-the-moment action of all of my travels, which sometimes I announce travels and sometimes I don't. So, you know, sometimes I'll get a nice little surprise. Typically don't post anything about my travels on YouTube until I post a flight review. So, you know, that's a little extra special thing on Instagram that only people on Instagram get. I don't charge money for it either, so, ooh. That's pretty cool, because most people do. Well, I mean, that would be considered behind the scenes, I think, at least. Alright, and we're just waiting for this Delta here. I feel like I haven't heard the engine start up, though. So, I'm a little confused. But there it is, if you want to look at it again. For the 94th time. Oof, got something in my eye. That hurts. I don't like that at all. Alright, what is next? What are we looking at? Looks like I got a Delta Boeing 737-800 coming in from Salt Lake City. They'll be landing in 5 minutes. We'll see about that. What else do we got here? We got a United Boeing 737-800 coming in from San Francisco, California. That'll be coming in about 8 minutes. Again, we'll see about that. We got a Sun Country 737-800 from Minneapolis, St. Paul, coming in about 13 minutes. And wow, and then we got a Alaska 737 MAX 9 coming in from Portland in about 22 minutes. So that's pretty much the prime time lineup of today's flights. If there's any other arrivals, they're going to be 30 minutes plus out of the way. So no point in bringing those up for now. Why do I have so many emails? That's annoying. I don't know about you guys, but I don't read a lot of my emails because a lot of them are spam. Unbelievable. That's so much. Okay. Well, we can look through those later. Alright, so we do have a nice collection of arrivals coming up here. So if you're just joining us, don't be like, oh, there's nothing to see. Because there is. You'll see it. Don't worry. I won't miss it. Oh, I really hope you can't hear my swallowing when I drink my water. Ooh. You can't, I'm sorry about that. Alright, looks like we got a United E-175 pushing back. What time is it? It's 4:30. I don't even know where that's going, honestly. San Francisco? I didn't know they had a 4:30 departure. Well, maybe it's Denver. No, I'm looking at the United app, goodness gracious. Where's Flight Radar? I hate that United and Flight Radar both have a globe logo for their app. Doesn't help. Okay, so that United's going to Los Angeles, so that's going to be one of our next departures. This Delta, I feel like, is going to be delayed, which is no surprise because it's going to Seattle. Quick note, if you happen to be going to or from Seattle and Boise, you're going to get delayed. Guaranteed. I'm almost willing to bet on it. I'm not going to because I'm poor, but pretty much every flight between Seattle and Boise delayed. Sometimes it's not that big, sometimes it's like 15, 20 minutes, but it's delayed. Sometimes it's an hour. I learned from experience too, flying that route. I don't think I've ever flown that route on time, which is kind of funny, but also sucks if you have a quick connection. Don't fly through Seattle if you have a tight connection. Just not worth it. Utterly not worth it. And I don't even know if it's the airline's fault half the time. Probably is. And not just Delta, but any airline that flies there. You know. But
Country 943, the airport 12 o'clock and 28 miles before airport 6. Field site 943. Country 943, thanks.
alright, I do see that next arrival there.
About an hour ago.
Oh goodness, why is my live chat not working? See, this is why I don't like this. I have a chat pop-up thing, and it just kind of sucks. All right, sorry I haven't been getting to your chats there. I'll get to those in a sec. Let me double check Flight Radar, make sure I'm looking at the right plane. Oh, exit out of that. Goodness gracious. Okay, where's that? I listed them all and then forgot. Okay, the next arrival is going to be the Delta 737-800 from Salt Lake. It's going to be a sec before you really see much of it, but... Uh-oh, my battery is going to die. Don't worry, I have spares, but that'll be something I'll have to take care of here sooner than later. Probably after this arrival. Real quick, Alex Dreyfus says, has work started on the new terminal and gates? Will be great to see the new flights and airlines that arrive with double the gates in the coming years. Absolutely. They have not, well, they started on the tarmac. They started on the apron, paving that and painting that and all that good stuff. And then once they complete that, then they'll get started on the actual building of it. They're mostly waiting for the rental car facility to be finished. Because they're building a massive rental car garage in the spot where the new, like right behind where the new concourse is going to be. And the new concourse is going to be in the old spot of the rental car facility, if that makes any sense. So it's a process for sure, but hopefully in the next year and a half or so, they'll have construction started on that, assuming there's no like massive recession or anything like that. That would be a bummer. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and replace my battery here. So just give me 1 second. You'll still be able to hear me, you just won't be able to see anything. All right. It might take me a couple seconds. So apologize if I miss a departure or two, or not departure, an arrival. But let me get this battery switched out real quick. Where's my batteries? There they are. All right. I hope it's not the Sun Country that I'm missing here. I think it is though. Okay, let's turn this back on and see if it... Sometimes it makes me unplug everything and... Yeah, I think it's gonna make me